Hey, Andrew here at Cowtown in sunny Phoenix, Arizona with Jeff Gonzalez of Trident Concepts, who is a bona fide SEAL. And I just took a carbine class from him, which pretty much means it's like the same thing as graduating buds, right?
Absolutely.
I'm ready to halo jump
you
in
are.
and kill Bin
There's
Laden,
a puddle right there that I was going to have you roll around in just to make that point proof. Absolutely. I can't wait.
You heard something about pigs and mud. So this is not the rifle I ran in the class. This is my home defense rifle. Not pictured is the Surefire silencer that is normally mounted when it's in the home defense configuration. Thusly, Surefire Scout Light, Magpul furniture, primary arms 1X prism sight. You can't see it, but I promise it's there, is an ALG GI type trigger. Strike Industries latchless charging handle, 12.5-inch BCM upper, of course Magpul magazines, and a gear sector sling. So Jeff, tell me what I got right and what I got wrong. Don't hold back.
For sure. You know me pretty well to know that I wouldn't hold back. You saw that in the class. So first of all, what I like is that you, for a home defense rifle, and particularly with a 5.56, it's nice to really see a short barrel. It just makes it a little bit more compact and easy to run in tight quarters. But when you're doing that, the suppressor for the overpressurization, the sound, you know, just like that is rude. I mean, people that haven't fired exactly indoors cannot really appreciate how rude that is.
Yeah.
So the suppressor,
you feel it
in your teeth, yeah. So the suppressor is kind of like definitely I wouldn't necessarily make it a must-have, but it's a definite want-to-have. If you can't get a suppressor because your state is kind of rude, then the Game Warden, next best thing, really does a great job. You're obviously, for a home defense, you want to be able to ID whatever you're shooting at, so that light is a great light. Magpul furniture across the board, plus the Magpul magazine. You know, the only thing that I might suggest is that if you're looking for a home defense, instead of a 30, the 40 rounder has been a great thing. You know, 30 is obviously a lot, but 40 in a grab and go format makes my life so much easier. You know,
especially for somebody like Paul who just can't shoot.
Well, yeah, definitely there's something to say about volume of fire for him.
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh.
Did you see the one in the hand?
Yeah. Well, that disabled his I did that on purpose.
88 to 82, winning again. We'll go back to that cup from yesterday when I was winning. Still winning.
Cut all the parts where he's not, though.
So, you know, things that I don't have a lot of experience with are that optic. You know, we use our classes as a test bed to see a lot of things. We just haven't seen that optic come through a class. So I'm leery about saying anything good or bad about it. What I would say is that the optic is such a central and so integral and essential to a home defense rifle, because if that optic fails, granted you have backup iron sights, but if you're working at night in a low light setting, they're really hard to use. So that red dot sight is so critical for just the ability to know that you're going to place that round where it has to go, because now you have a lot of friendlies in your own space that you have to be mindful of. So don't have a lot of experience with it. My recommendation is, you know, if you can't afford the optic right off the bat, maybe you want to save up for it, because there's an old saying, you know, buy cheap, buy twice. And I'm not saying that that's a cheap product, but a lot of times what prevents people from buying a better product is because of the price point. So if you save up a little bit and invest in something like an aim point or even a Trichagon, you're going to be much better off. And I can tell you right now that I've had so many stories of people that will say, oh my God, I wish I just bought this the first go around. And that's generally that's the best advice that I can share with people, is just, if you can't afford it right now, save up and then invest in it down the road. So I love that. The sling, I will say this, I'm betting that sling came with like an operator manual that maybe came out on DVD, like a CD-ROM or something like that, because it's got more freaking buckles and more little thingies on it, and
it does.
Like I feel like if it has that much on there, it might be a little bit overkill. You know what I'm saying? It's like how hard does this sling have to be?
Well, and for somebody who has to take his boots off to count past 10, it takes me a little thinking.
You think? I saw the brain. I saw how your brain was working out there on the range. So
when the camera wasn't rolling, they were waiting for me to attach this again. Because
I was like, what are you, weaving that thing? Are you over there with some freaking needles and weaving something to make it a sling?
I made it myself.
Yeah, I was like, which I've seen better homemade slings than that thing. But yeah, keeping it simple. I mean, it's a freaking sling. How hard does it have to be? You know, just like the 2 attachment points and something to pull and make it tight. That's it. That's all you need. Yeah. So like, that's the only thing that I would be really critical about, is that monstrosity of a sling. Like I can tell you what, like if I'm out in the field and my stuff starts falling apart, I can trust that I have probably all the fixins on that sling to fix it. I mean, look at this. You got one Fastech buckle. You got a tri-glide here. You got these things. I don't know what they're for. What else do you have over here? You got, look, here's another, look. Sweet Jesus. Like, look at that.
Well, I'll also say that.
Does this double as a backpack somehow? Can you configure this for a backpack or what? I mean.
So the reason this is set up the way it is because I use other uppers on this same lower. This is a registered SBR lower, so I want to be able to swap out uppers.
Yeah, because it's so hard to take a
But
sling
I'm
off.
being lazy.
In your case, yeah.
And in your class, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I beat the dumb shit out of my finger.
It's a boo-boo.
By hitting this sling attachment point over and over and over every single time I charged it. So
wait a minute,
lessons learned from that class, this is coming off as soon as I get home.
So you kept beating yourself up as opposed to actually using a different technique here.
You're right. That is exactly what I did.
Okay, well, hey, you know, there's something to be said about if you're going to be hard, be hard. You're the bull. You know what? You're the man porter. You're the one that ports.
If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yes, well, you're the one that's going to be carrying the rug. But in all honesty, I get it. I understand why. That's a good idea, you know, to be able to transfer one upper from another lower. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? And it's nice to grab and go format. But honestly, man, there's so many better options. So many better options, Andrew.
Well, it's like a lot of ideas. It may sound good on paper, and it was great.
I would love to have seen this in class, because I promise you it probably would have failed. Well, there's so much happening right here that something would have broke or popped or God only knows what.
The way I have it on here also is, I think, incorrect still, after fighting with it
This
for
is
a
what
while,
happens when you don't watch the DVD video.
You're
that's
right.
like 30 minutes long on how to attach that thing.
RTFM. I did not RTFM.
Oh God. Well, I mean, honestly, I love the rifle. You know, it's got this cute little paint job-ish thing.
Isn't that adorable?
It is. Yeah.
This is. I've had this for a very long time, and that's kind of a holdover from my more cringy days.
Your more what days?
Cringy.
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 Yeah, more cringy than now. But,
okay.
But it's a holdover from my cringier days.
Gotcha.
And, I'm stubborn, and I'm not going to paint over it.
What? That might explain why you hurt the finger so much. That stubbornness probably came out in the class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, it was an absolute pleasure learning.
My pleasure, Andrew.
I learned a lot in your class.
We had a good time.
It was so worth taking it. If you want to know how to take a class from Jeff and be a SEAL just like him, we'll have the contact information down there in the description.
Oh, God.
As always, thanks for watching. I love you.
Hey guys, what just happened there?
What?
Did that just fall off like by itself?
I'm like, what happened? Oh, that happened. Wow. God almighty.